Season 2 of Night Gallery was creepy enough, but Wendy started filming certain key episodes on videotape. This is where it got kind of freaky. Now, to give you information on this process, which was a cost saver in Season 2, we are going to the nightgallerywordpress.com, an article in 2015 that talked about Serling's brief journey to the videotape zone. Now, according to published reports, this episode looks funny, wasn't broadcast live. Hardly a Twilight Zone marathon goes by without at least one or two people tagging my Twitter page with a question like that. And when they do, it's because they're watching one of 6 episodes from Season 2. The Lateness of the Hour, The Night of the Meek, which of course is the Santa Claus episode. The Whole Truth, 22, Static or Long Distance Call, with the great Billy Mummy. The reason why they look funny, they were videotaped, not filmed. Why? Let's turn to the oracle we all use at some point when we're doing research. Wikipedia is entry for The Whole Truth notes. 5 weeks into Season 2, the show's budget was showing a deficit. The total number of new episodes projected at 29, more than half of which 16 had, by November 1960, already been filmed. CBS suggested that in order to trim the production $65,000 per episode budget, 6 episodes should be produced in the cheaper videotape format, eventually transferred to 16mm film. The studios of the network's television city, normally used for production of live drama, would serve as the venue. There would be fewer camera movements and no exteriors, making the episodes seem more akin to soap operas and Playhouse 90, with the videotaped image effectively narrowing and flattening perspective. Even with those artistic sacrifices, the eventual savings amounted to only $30,000, far less the cost of a single episode. The experiment was thus deemed a failure and never attempted again. Even viewers who are fans of videotape episodes will admit that the film is better suited to the Zoneverse than videotape. A drama of comedy may get along just fine without film, but creating the illustrations required by a fantasy series such as TZ without the rich look and greater freedom of film is virtually impossible. Now, numerous episodes that came along later on needed the film because of the aesthetics. Now, the 6 episodes, I'm going to give you a basic breakdown, in my opinion, on them. The Lateness of the Hour, which we're dealing with a young girl who wants to leave her family and make her own family, finds out basically she's a robot. The Night of the Meek, where Art Carney plays a down-on-his luck Santa, store Santa, and becomes Santa, or the now permanent Santa, after the help of different people, including a very young elf. Now, The Whole Truth, basically it's a car salesman who buys a second-hand vehicle, a jalopy, and finds out he can't tell a lie, a Jim Carrey type of thing. 22, a fashion girl who basically has a recurring nightmare that she has to get in an elevator called 22 and ends up being a plane crash. Static, where a person longs for the past and gets it through a radio broadcast and eventually goes back in his own past, sort of like a walking distance. And a Long Distance Call, Billy Mummy, where the character's grandmother connects with the mummy character through a phone that connects them with the afterlife. So the plots of those shows are quite effective. And for me, I like 22 and Night of the Meek. 22 especially for the beautiful Arlene Martel of Star Trek and Monkeys fame. But the idea is, if you haven't seen Twilight Zone before, when I first saw these episodes, I literally thought it was a videotape dub of the film version. But the Lateness of the Hour is very, very creepy. Not really scary, it just seems heavily out of place. So all the episodes of Night of the Meek, except for Night of the Meek and 22, I give 3 stars out of 5. Night of the Meek, of course, is a Christmas classic, played every year, every second year at Christmas. 5 out of 5. 22, I give it 4, because Arlene Martel saying "room for one more, honey" really, really scared the shit out of me when I was a young kid. So it's all a matter of perspective. These episodes don't add or don't subtract. They wouldn't have been 4 of the 6 would be just as mediocre they were on film. But again, Night of the Meek and 22 for me are very strong episodes. So ladies and gentlemen, if you like what you're doing here, we're a TZ Podcast. Let us know with a like, comment, subscribe, or share. And don't forget, pick up Carol Serling's book.